Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 9th to the 15th of October 2017. We begin the week with Venus square Saturn, calling for discipline, for us to centre in our honesty and take responsibility for ourselves, not just rushing out to care for everybody else or being busy or being in service, but are we serving ourselves and are we listening to the wisdom that supports us in our heart? So not too tricky, that one, as long as we're silent, honest and centred, and to put some time to ourselves, our bigger mission and what we're really here to create and where we're creating from. But the big story this week is Jupiter is about to leave Libra and go into Scorpio. This will be for a whole year. So for the last year we've had Jupiter balancing our relationships. Jupiter does tend to clear out first anything that's blocking or limited in order to create the space for us to grow into. So we've had a year of emotional liberation. We've had a lot of the emotional conditioning deconditioned as we've had to look at us and other, us and our inner deeper self, and us and our spiritual self, and make sure that all of those are in fine balance. So we've cleared the way, we've hopefully done some deconditioning of programming in order that we're freer to meet others and to meet ourselves in an equal space. So by Monday it's worth looking at your renewed self-worth. What journey have you travelled? What have you learnt? And how much stronger are you in yourself, having got rid of codependency and need, and standing on your own 2 feet and knowing your own worth so that you can meet others with their worth as well and find a happy middle ground. Because by Tuesday Jupiter goes into Scorpio for the next year. So the next 12 months are going to get deeper. Scorpio is very piercing, very psychological, very deep energy, looking into the dark places, looking into the subconscious and bringing things out for light and cleansing. So the conscious mind looking into the subconscious to find out what's going on the inside, our motivations, our manipulative behaviour, our repressed fears and angers, all of that will be coming up over the next year. But on a higher level, Scorpio is the alchemist. So Scorpio is where we take that base, we bring it to light, we raise up the energy and we become masterful of our own power, deep healing power, deep ascending, raising that energy up to step into our mastery. So this is going to be a very powerful year, but it's up to us to do the work, and it's up to us to do the work daily and to constantly raise up from that base to crown. So we'll feel the energy change by Tuesday, and it's worth just meditating on that, really, not trying to put anything into action straight away, but to just feel that difference as Jupiter moves from Libra into Scorpio, and especially for any of you that follow your chart, to have a look at where that's happening for you in a particular part of your chart so that you can harness those energies and work with them more deeply. By Wednesday we have another square as Mars makes a square to Saturn. So this weekend we've got Venus making a square to Saturn, but midweek we'll have Mars making a square to Saturn. So to realign where we put our energy, to make sure that we're in supportive environments, to have a look at where we're giving our energy away, being too servile or playing the victim, and to make those necessary changes. So again, it's about self-worth, but what we're giving into or what we're giving away from on our vital life force energy is really the meditation for Wednesday. Take a look at just how powerful we are, that where we put our energy, that's where we create our reality. So if we're seeing a mirror back to us of not feeling appreciated, not feeling energized with the people or situations around us, then maybe go back and connect with our own energy and decide if that's the right place for it to be, or whether we're leaking in any way, or trying to push out in too many directions, too dispersed, and to reconnect with maybe a more single vision of what we're passionate about and where we want that energy to go in order to create the best results. And by Friday, we've got Friday the 13th, so a good example of where we're giving our power away is if we live in a state of fear from a belief that isn't true. So Friday the 13th is actually a very fortunate date, and yet it's been given this veneer, this fear the Knights Templar or Friday the 13th horror movie. And that's all much, much later. That's actually a corruption of what this date really means. So do your research, reclaim your power, but a good opportunity there to have a look at where fear can be artificially created from an external belief that isn't even true in the first place. Then by the weekend we have Venus moving into Libra. So this can be a celebration really, with all the clearing work that Jupiter's done and all the raising to our majesty there. Then maybe Venus dancing back home into Libra could be a bit of a celebration of our creativity, of our grace, of our ability to love, and of the love of ourselves, an expression of that now that we have taken that year to come home to ourselves and to come home to our self-worth and self-appreciation. We also have Mercury opposite Uranus, so there could be some incoming inspiration there as Mercury reaches out and draws down thought forms, but Uranus actually works with those thoughts, checks their validity, adds to them, has the vision, and then puts them out there and activates them. So a very interesting opposition there. What we're thinking and saying and what it's building. Are we just receiving thoughts and repeating them? Or are we actually adding our own truth and adding our own inspiration before we then speak out and act upon those thought forms? So engaging there with independent thought and checking what we're told as well. That's very important in this current age, that we don't just read something, believe it and repeat it, but we're actually living from our own independent and higher mind. So quite a complex week there, lots going on day by day. There's not much to be said about any of these really. It's a case this week of just feeling each thing as it comes up, but by far the biggest thing is Jupiter moving into Scorpio. So take a moment on Monday to reflect on everything that's gone on in the past year, and then just feel the climatic difference as we go through the rest of the week, but finding it in our chart and actually being able to work with that through the next year is really going to be very valuable and very important to do this week. So if you'd like any assistance with that, I am available to look at your chart and help you find where this is happening in your own birth chart soul plan. So those are horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. So if you would like to connect for a reading, I am available in person or over Skype. We can have a look at where all of this is happening for you and set a course for the year ahead. Or if you'd like to learn this for yourself, I have a number of online courses and some Zodiac packs to explore your sign in more depth. And I also run a number of meetup groups and an online membership group as well, if you'd like to connect with others and have lively discussions. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehind7@gmail.com.